So it's been a while and I thought I would do another memory ticket. This is something that I do once in a while. I grab my mysterious box or hat or bag of ticket stubs and put my hand in it and pick usually three tickets and talk about them. They're paper tickets. A lot of times, in I don't know, last 10 years, I rarely get a paper concert ticket, which is kind of a pain and not so cool. I'd like to be able to comment on those shows too, but these tend to be older shows that I saw a little while ago. But in a way that makes it more fun. So I'm going to draw three of them. The first one, I'm sticking my hand in. Let's see. Feels like a Ticketmaster. Ticket Fly. Oh, interesting. Modest Mouse, Brooklyn Bowl, 2015. What is the price on it? It says 0. I wonder if I got in. I might have had a friend get me in, or somebody had tickets. All right, confession time. I've never really gotten into Modest Mouse. They're one of these bands that I feel like I should like. I kind of just don't. Maybe my introduction was wrong. Maybe it's a wrong time. I remember enjoying the concert. I saw them also on the Vote for Change tour back in 2008, I believe. So this was quite a few years later. Now I'm remembering. I went with my friend that lived in Vegas I worked with, and I think he had some connection who worked at the weekly, news and arts and news kind of newspaper. But my introduction to them was I kept hearing about the Lonesome Crowded West, what a great record it was, and I ended up buying it on CD back in the day. So I don't know, when was this, 90s, late 90s? And I was on some kind of road trip for work. I was traveling for work, and I remember putting it in my car stereo, and it drove me absolutely nuts. I was not used to that guy's vocal style. I wanted to throw it out on the side of the highway, like just throw it out the window. It irritated the hell out of me, and I must have given it away or something, because I don't think I've had that CD for quite a while. But anyway, yeah, it's one of those bands I always feel like I should like. People are always a little bit surprised. Like, don't you like the guy's songwriting? I guess. I mean, I kind of like the Sun Kill Moon collection of his songs. He had that big hit, Fade On or something like that, years later. Probably around the time that I saw him on this tour. But I can't say I've ever been in a position where I've heard Modest Mouse at the right time, in the right place, whether it's at home or whether it's the two times that I saw them in concert, and thought, wow, I want to hear more of this. Maybe it'll click someday. There are some gaps and things that I like, but hey, we're all individuals, and we're all not going to like everything. I certainly I do dislike more things than I like, for sure. But yeah, Brooklyn Bowl was a place in Vegas. It was on the Strip. It was actually pretty cool, pretty big room. I saw other bands there too, like Lucinda Williams, I remember, put on an excellent show at the Brooklyn Bowl. But that's the first one. That was in 2015. Let's see what else we have here. And then go too deep to the bottom. This one feels a little bit older. I don't know, maybe I'm wrong. Oh, well, this is bound to happen when I do this, because I've seen Guided by Voices a number of times. This is Wart. W-O-R-T. That's Chicago. You know what? I think I did this one last time. Or I confused the show. Or else I saw him twice in Chicago, and I'm not remembering. I'm going to do a real brief recap of this, and then I think I'll select an extra one. I went with some friends to Chicago to see Guided by Voices. We rented a hotel room. We're driving down from Minneapolis. And I remember showing up a little bit late to the show and missing the opening act, who was My Morning Jacket. I mean, I saw the very, very end of it, and we were looking at each other like, wow, this is great. And I didn't know who My Morning Jacket were at the time. Of course, later on, I'd become a big fan of My Morning Jacket. But yeah, I think there was a mix-up. I think last time I was hoping I drew this ticket. I don't know. Anyway, Guided by Voices always put on an amazing show. I remember Robert Pollard at this particular show, when they went and did an encore or something, and everybody's screaming songs. I was way up front, like second or third row, and I kept screaming Pop Zeus, which is off the Speak Kindly of Your local fire department or something like that. He did with his guitar player Doug Gilliard. It's an excellent record. Robert Pollard said at various times that he wishes he had put that out under the Guided by Voices name, or under the Guided by Voices name. But I shouted "Pop Zeus," and I'm slapping his hand, and he's doing high fives with everybody. And they come up on stage and they pick up their guitars and they go right into "Pop Zeus," and I kind of lost my mind. Excellent, excellent show. Most of them are. This was with the Doug Gilliard lineup, and yeah, excellent, excellent show. 2002, Guided by Voices. Okay. Here. All right, this feels like a First Avenue or a local kind of club show just by the size of the tickets. Steve Earl and the Dukes, First Avenue, 1998, complimentary. I think I've talked about this before, but if you lived in Minneapolis and you went to a lot of shows back in the 90s, you would get just a ton of comps. You would get in on a comp. When you left, they would hand out more comps. It was crazy good, and they almost went out of business, I think, in part because of this practice. But Steve Earle and the Dukes in 1998. Okay, that's when I first got into this guy. I got into Steve Earle with the album El Corazon, which I absolutely loved. And I can't say I listen to Steve Earle that much at all anymore. I did listen to some songs off El Corazon like a few months ago, but it's been a long time since I've really listened to Steve Earle. But man, what a powerhouse live. This was a great, great show. The V-Boys, V-Boys, I don't remember who exactly they were. They sound familiar with that band. Somebody here probably knows, unless they were a local Minneapolis band. But yeah, Steve Earle and the Dukes always put on a hell of a show. I remember seeing them in Kansas City when I was there on work, for work around the same time as this, maybe within a year or two. And the excellent show too. For a while there, like the post-prison records, Train a Comin', I Feel Alright, El Corazon, and I think Transcendental Blues were sort of the 3 or 4 albums that I just absolutely loved, especially El Corazon. And yeah, this was playing songs off that record. I absolutely loved the show. And yeah, comp. So I don't know how much it was, but I doubt if I'd paid for it, it was much more than $10, maybe 12. Okay, draw another one here. This will be, oh wow, okay. Actually the Chicago show I think was Wilco that I drew a ticket for before. I'm going to stop talking about what I did before. If you want to go back and look at it, you can, but okay, Wilco. Boy, Guided by Voices and Wilco, it's bound to happen. I'm bound to pick a bunch of tickets from them because I've seen them so many times. This one was kind of memorable though, because this was in Duluth, Minnesota, and let's see, February 19th. Duluth. It's fucking cold. It is awful cold in Duluth, and I remember this being super, super cold. Driving up from Minneapolis, we got a hotel room. It was a great show, and it was cool to see them in a different venue with a different audience. 2010 would have been, I think they must have been promoting Sky Blue Sky at the time. Or possibly, maybe that was Wilco the album. Yeah, it was probably Wilco the album, actually. But they always put on a good show. I don't remember too many specifics about this one, other than it was so cold, and we had to walk downtown Duluth a little ways from the venue to the concert, and I just remember freezing my ass off walking back to the hotel room. But anyway, yeah, Wilco. All right, I forget. I lost count already. Did I do 4 there? I think I did do 4. What the hell? Let's do another one. These aren't, I don't know. A bonus one. I guess 2 bonus ones this time. It's like I said, I gotta kind of go through these. Oh, this is a good one. This is a really good one. So good, I feel like I'm gonna save it. Sorry, I'm gonna save it. A little bit of mystery. I'm gonna kind of cheat next time, and I think I'm gonna stick it out so I can pick it out immediately and have something to talk about. But yeah, so those are my memory tickets. Okay, I'll talk about it. Fillmore, Jeff Tweedy, 2018. I'm going to get political here. And hey, take it or leave it, right? I assume you probably are like-minded watching my stuff. If you're not, hopefully you're not offended that I have a different political point of view than you do. I usually don't talk that much about politics. Although, my God, I don't know how you cannot these days. But this was the day Now, Jeff Tweedy, this solo show was completely sold out at the Fillmore. You could not get a ticket. This was the day that Brett Kavanaugh got confirmed, or we knew he was going to get confirmed to the Supreme Court. And I was pretty bummed out about it. Everybody I knew was bummed out about it. I'm living in Oakland, California. And I just thought, God, I should just try to go to that Jeff Tweedy show. You know, show up, maybe get a ticket. Even though everywhere I looked, it was completely sold out. I drive down to the Fillmore. I used to have a spot, like a secret spot where I would park for the Fillmore, and it always worked for me, a little neighborhood spot. And I drove down there. You know, usually I wouldn't drive to San Francisco, but no problem. Parked my car, walked up outside the venue trying to get a ticket, and I didn't see anybody offering them. But then I just thought, well, I'll just go up to the box office because it looked like it was open. I thought maybe for Wilco or something. And I go up there and I ask, and do you guys happen to have any tickets? And they're like, yeah, sure. How many do you need? I'm like, what? They must have released them, I don't know, tickets from, you know, crew in the band that weren't used or something. But I got one. It was a general admission show. I got up pretty close, and this show was phenomenal. You talk about music healing, music bringing people together. This show was exactly what I needed that night. I'm so glad I got in. He talked about the issue that was on everybody's mind, got heckled by somebody, one person, that I think actually made the news at the time, the little back and forth kind of conversation they had. But it was such a powerful show and so good, and it just felt so good, just like I said, just have that community, that kind of transcendent moment when you're part of something bigger than yourselves. And I left there feeling so good and so much better than I did when I went in. And I think, you know, music can be incredibly healing, and this was one of those shows. So yeah, definitely want to talk about this. Jeff Tweedy at the Fillmore in 2018. Feels like yesterday, but wow, okay. At least 5.5 years ago now. Crazy. But he's always great solo too. If you've never seen Tweedy, it's a different beast than Wilco. In fact, I think I prefer it these days. I think I've seen Wilco almost too many times. But Jeff Tweedy, the storytelling, the acoustic versions of his whole catalog. He'll play Golden Smog songs. He'll play Uncle Tupelo songs. He'll play Wilco songs that you're not familiar with. He'll play his own solo stuff. He'll play new songs. A lot of times you'll hear brand new songs that will show up on either a solo record or a Wilco record in the future. But that's what I have. Those are a couple bonuses there, but this is my my concert memories, my memory tickets for this month. This is number 4, I think, since I started calling them memory tickets. But thanks everyone. Share if you've seen these bands. You want to talk about it. Put a comment in the comments below, and yeah, let's keep the conversation going. Thanks.